Welcome back, everybody, to the WDL, the War of the Divisions Draft League Season 3, Week 2, Heindler Division. If you guys haven't seen the other battles, please go check those out first. And if you are not in tune to what's going on right now, I'm essentially just going to cast the final game of each series. I will go over the standings after I go cast those games, and then at the end, I will have the raw game footage of the games that I did not get to cast. Obviously, with a bigger league, I can't get to every single game every week. This might look different week to week, so just bear with me. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, but if you do have any sort of constructive criticism or feedback, please leave it down in the comments down below, which reminds me to say, hey, hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Without further ado, let's take a look at the standings in the Heindler Division 1 week in. We've got a tie in first place with Colgate's Friendship, Turambar, the Fire Ferrets, JB79, and the Paranoid Androids, all with 3 points at +2. Spike of Bebop's crew and Unhindered with Ignite the Storm, both with +1, 3 points currently. Lucian Rams of Lone Shadow and Error 404 of Ashes to Crashes, both sitting there with 1 point. And the bottom three teams, we've got Maverick, Spaghetti Western, Crimson Lease's Triumphant, Trailblazers, and Desires, Team Big Mouth. Wrapping up the division here. But we've got some really good games to get into. Let's check out the first one. Alright guys, for the first series of today, we've got Colgate's Friendship versus Lucian Rams Lone Shadow here, and we are jumping into the final game of this series, and Lucian Rams hovering that Sephiroth Shadowlink's Dario team that he put in some work with in week 1 versus Unhindered's team. And it looks like on the other side, we've got King Bradley, we've got Elda, and we've got Dario on the other side. I do apologize a little bit for the blurriness, but the quality of the video, for some reason, did get portrayed this way. So anyway, Shadowlinks is going to walk into the party. I believe she popped the illusion buff, which gives evasion and AoE resist for herself. Sephiroth going to pop an AoE buff as well, and resist magic coming up from Dario. So expecting a lot of magic threat coming from the other side. I don't think we're going to see it because it's King Bradley and Elda who are both physical units, but Taunting Spell immediately from Kadia. I do not know if that's what Colgate planned to do. Are we trying to run a tank Kadia build, or is that an accident? We're going to have to find out here as the Limit Break comes out from Elda, so he's going to get his own hate up and a physical shield as well. King Bradley, what do you have in store for us? He's got so much range, but the elemental advantage with Dario mitigates the damage pretty well. He's only going to get about 1700 off between that two hit chain as the zombie re-raised TMR comes out from Shadowlinks. I believe this is something that Lucian Rams ran in week 1 as well, if I do believe. Octaslash comes out though and hits the Kadia. I'm not sure if she actually got hate up from the taunting spell. I think she might have. Only catches 2400 damage though, and it looks like she is probably running a lot of AoE resist as Sephiroth is basically out of AP, but Dario chains with the Sephiroth, dealing a good chunk of damage. Kadia is going to start channeling a spell. I believe this is probably a heal. I guess it could be Asuna. But Void Piercer comes out from Elda, doing just shy of 2000 damage for this to the Sephiroth. Curative Prayer is going to heal her back up, and now I'm looking at this, and maybe this was all part of the plan coming out from Colgate, as Bradley's going to chain up some damage here, but he misses this Shadowlinks, one of the most dodgy units in the entire game, and as an MR unit, it's very likely she is fully reincarnated, as Dark Haze is going to hit the Kadia in the back here. Sephiroth is going to follow up with a standard attack, but really doesn't get much AP back as he's sitting there with 14. Assault Blade from King Bradley does a ton of damage though, and Dario is low. So Kadia is going to start channeling a spell. I imagine this is another Curative Prayer, but Taunting Spellbind comes out, from Dario, finishes up the damage onto Kadia. She's going to drop. Elda's going to return the favor though and get rid of Dario, and is now down to a 2v2 with Colgate's units being a little healthier. Shadowlinks with tons of AP though. Dream Within a Dream basically going to get rid of that barrier from Elda. He gets the counterattack, but it misses because she is very, very evasive. Only 14 AP onto Sephiroth. He's going to go for a Spirit Breaker onto Elda, but he's still standing strong. So the Elda Leonis, who we have not seen in a very long time, doing quite well as the reflex, the physical reflex from Sephiroth dodges out on King Bradley. He's not going to get any AP back, and Shadow Tether is going to get rid of Elda. Certainly, and now this Shadowlinks with 33 AP is in position to put in a lot of work as King Bradley does connect this time. No reflex, gets a little bit of AP for himself as Sephiroth basically has none, just with another standard attack. And these two 110 cost units, I will say, not putting in that much work. It's kind of the lower cost units doing all the work in this fight as Shadow Tether comes out from Shadowlinks, procs the Courage, and can he find a double kill here? He's got 17 AP. Shadowlinks does still have the re-raise though, and it looks like he's only going to go for a single target. sweeping edge. He's going to take out the other 110 cost unit in our format, but it looks like, uh-oh, CT on his side. King Bradley, can he get a preemptive counter? I don't remember if he even used that ability. Shadow Lynx is 18 AP, and Bradley is only at 1 health. She's going to summon Dark Odin, and no big long animation to wait through, guys. 1290 damage comes out from the Dark Odin, and Lucian Rams takes a 2-0 convincing series win over Colgate. All right, guys, next up to bat here on the left side, we've got Desire's team Big Mouth versus Maverick in the Spaghetti Western, and it looks like Desire is running Rissol, Winter Luartha, and Liarte, and it looks like on Maverick's side, he's running Zazan, Skahal, and Resnick. Desire says, have fun, safe landing, in parentheses, no crashes. I'm assuming he means the game crashing. I don't know if he'd be messaging anybody else here, but I don't know. Hopefully nobody else had any crashes during the series. So Jealous Wrath going to come out from Skahal. This is Vega TMR, and if Skahal wasn't threatening enough, the chance to apply Berserk on the other team is even more threatening, as the Pierce attack up for Winter Luartha, as well as the AoE buff on the team. Looking strong here for Desire. March of the Juggernaut coming out from the 30 cost Zazan, who raises the Man-Eater as well on Skahal, so he is going to be hitting like an absolute truck here. Liarte going to pop bells, Ziza TMR obviously, Resnick going to channel something, and it is Law of Refuge, so both of the units in the front with a physical barrier, ready to tank up some damage from these two win units here. And what does Resol go for? Words of Self-Preservation. Protect Shell, AP cost rate down, should help a little bit on the damage mitigation, but I have to imagine that if Skahal is able to hit, he's going to do a ton. My goodness, Debilitating Counter does almost 5,000 damage. Winter Luartha basically took as much damage just for taking her turn as she just delivered. Thundergo Disposer comes out, one-shots the Liarte in the back, absolutely destroys Resol, and unfortunate here for Desire. He's got a lot of work cut out for him as Reign of Rallying comes out from Resnick, going to full heal both of these units. Zazan's going to go next, probably going to put down some pain or go for a Steel Heart here. No, he actually goes to the backline. Man-Eater buff on Resnick as well. I don't think it's going to really matter for her. But what does Resol do? We have not seen this unit really at all yet. Reappropriation, 3,500, removes buffs, gives herself a physical shield one time, but I don't really think that's going to matter as Law of Invigoration comes out, replenishes this Immortal Skahal, and you have to imagine he is just going to delete her here. Will it be the Flare? Will it be? No, it's Energy Buster. I am shocked. Why Energy Buster instead of Thundergo Disposer? I cannot figure out a single reason other than she has some evasion in her kit, and that just confirmed it. Killer Cross misses with the Zazan here, and it looks like quite a dodgy build here from this Resol. With 68 AP, can she figure out any sort of comeback here? It seems very, very unlikely to me that she could pull something off. She would have to kill Resnick at a minimum, and then somehow deal a ton of AoE damage all at the exact same time. What does she find here? All three are highlighted. I think she might have found a diamond AoE with Edge of the Void. What is this Limit Break going to do? A very cool animation. Blinds all three. Wait a second here. Unfortunately, the heal's probably going to come out from Resnick, or else I would say that there is a chance here because Skahal is the only one with the guaranteed hit, but Law of Invigoration goes on the appropriate target. He is still going to be very hard to kill. Even without re-raise, he's got his Courage online. There should be another Energy Buster coming out. Yes, it is 5,000 damage, and Resol is putting up as much of a fight as she possibly could, but these other two units dying so early on in the fight just means it's such an uphill climb for Desire here. And what does she have? She still has 42 AP. But she is thinking long and hard about this turn. What is she going to go for? Lies and Betrayal. Another big chunk of damage, but it's just not enough. Resnick is an infinite font of health here for the team. And with only one unit, you really just cannot beat Skahal and a healer. You need to chain up damage many times in a row to pull this off. And to make matters worse, that is a charm coming out from Zazan onto the Resol. Energy Buster's finally going to finish it off, and the series is over. That is a 2-0 victory for Maverick and the Spaghetti Western, who get on the board with their first series win. All right, guys, final game of this series of Unhindered's Ignite the Storm versus Error 404's Ashes to Crashes. And this is a banger. This is a 3-game series as we see Yuffie pop a Brumal form, guaranteed hit nullification, attack order is going to come out from Roy, so he is ready to remove Courage from the other side, and June popping Vacuum Veil, getting her hate up, protect and shell, all of that good stuff we've seen before. But is this a really smart prediction coming out from Error 404, bringing out the Celis against Roy Mustang, who she should be able to just soak up a bunch of hits from the Roy. And I'm actually not sure what buff Sosha just used. I did not quite catch it, as Belo's going to pop his own Courage and walk forward here. But Roy is ready to remove Courage. Fiery Banishment going to remove Protect from June, making her not quite as tanky as you'd like to see from Unhindered's side. Pissarro TMR coming out from Roy, so he is very speedy and ready to go. With 49 AP on June's side, Stormwind Ren is going to lower the agility, doing a nice sizable chunk of damage onto both Celis and Belo here. And something about guaranteed hit on Sosha, I'm actually not sure what that was. She did it again and I didn't quite catch it. Cleansing Blade comes out, deals damage to the June again, and Roy is ready to go. Look at that AP bar. He's ready to use it up on this team, but will it just get absorbed by Celis? We're going to have to find out about this. Windstorm Plus comes out from Yuffie, going to hit the blind on June. Fortunately for Unhindered, she does have a guaranteed hit in her kit, but she doesn't go for it. She goes for Triple Trick. I don't think she had enough AP to use it, as Sosha's going to go for Bells here. So after using the same buff twice, she finally gets some AP restore online. Magic Burst from Celis does a little bit of chunk to June, but she's doing a very nice job tanking here, as Taunting Blade comes out from Belo, and now he probably has the most hate on the team. That actually works really well for Unhindered, because now All-Consuming Fire takes out Belo, removes the Courage and one-shots him, and breaks through the one-hit barrier that Yuffie had online. That Taunting Blade actually helping out Unhindered quite a bit here, as Celis didn't have the most hate in the game, but now she does. All-Consuming Flame's going to come through, Runic's going to absorb it, Yuffie's not going to take any damage from this hyper-accurate Roy Mustang, but Sosha coming up, doing a little bit of chip to both units. Not bad coming out from the 30 cost unit, but Water Blade from Celis, she's going to have to waste her turn taking out the tank, and I don't imagine Yuffie one-shots either one of these units with only 26 AP. She does not. Drain Zone comes out, heals herself up a little bit, but True Triple Combustion from Roy is going to one-shot Yuffie, and now Unhindered is in a 2v1 advantage over Error 404. Unhindered, who did not win a single series last season, won week 1. He is looking to try and start out 2-0 on this season. Can he pull it off here? Vertical Jump coming up from Sosha, a nice chunk of damage. Roy, what do you got here? Just a standard attack for 1829. Is there a way that Celis can double kill here? She's got 45 AP and the elemental advantage onto Roy. Not enough. Magic Burst is not going to kill either unit. Sosha might be able to just clean this up right here. She will with a standard attack, and congratulations to Unhindered and Ignite the Storm, who ended the season last season, I believe, with only 2 points. Now has 6 already. A clear level up from the player. Very, very awesome to see. Congrats to him, and also GG's to Error 404. Very, very, very close series. All right, guys, the 4th series for this division should be a banger. Double fire magic units coming out from JB79. You know who he is. Show Me Your Power comes out from Kefka, getting hate up on the other 2 units. And he's ready to go. Chi Barrier coming out from Revelka, who did a ton of damage, I believe, in game 2 in week 1. And Crimson Lease is running the Ice Squad, which looked very, very threatening against Turnbar's full strike team last week, but the elemental disadvantage could end up being pretty big here. Leave This to Me comes out from Reagan, so some area attack resist up for himself, as well as some other elemental resists, but I don't think any one of those are fire, so will it end up mattering? Revitalize comes out from Uni, so he has tons of AP ready to go. Velis is going to go Ice Blessing, Protect and Shell for himself. And Reagan is a very strong unit. Can he pull something off against this double fire magic squad, though? It's going to be an uphill battle. I just can't believe it comes out from Kefka, so he's going to get his re-raise online. Also gives him CT up when he comes back. And if that wasn't enough re-raises for you, here is another one for Revelka with the Halloween Rairyuu TMR here. Velis is going to go Grace of Eternal Friendship with the Black Rose Helena TMR, 3-hit barrier as well as some agility, and Mind Crusher is going to start this fight off finally. Mariel is going to walk forward, do a little bit of chip to Reagan. He's going to follow it up with Sonic Octostrike Blade, a very cool limit break animation. Looks like it should be about a 15-hit chain. It does hit 3 times in a row, doing quite a bit of damage to Mariel, as Uni's going to go for Punishing Slow Arrow. I believe that drops agility. I don't remember. Maybe it's movement. It's one of the two. Velis actually looking like he's going to try and deal some damage here, as Height 3 Cura comes out from Kefka, so known as a damage dealer, but he has an opportunity to heal up, and that's the difference between Mariel surviving another turn here, as Revelka's going to channel something herself. Reagan's just going to standard attack the Mariel and take her out. And what was this channel coming out from Revelka? It was a Kurita for the Mariel. That is going to completely whiff. So with the elemental disadvantage, but Crimson Lease is out to an early lead here, as Forsaken does so much damage. Reagan heals back 7,800 health though, still has his Courage online, and he catches a new haste from Velis. Hold on a second here, but he is destroyed by the 50 cost in our format. Revelka, she just did so much damage. That is absolutely nuts. Arrowfall comes out from Uni, and you think this is probably over here with the double fire magic squad coming out here. Velis, what can you pull off? Sub-Zero is actually a ton of damage onto the Revelka, but Kefka is still alive with his re-raise online, and Revelka's going to follow this up here, and she is shown to be a very strong unit. Deflagration Blast takes out the Uni, and in this 2v1 disadvantage, Velis, what do you have here, buddy? He's probably just going to heal himself with a snow healing. He's going to do exactly that. He goes again though. He laps. Can he find a kill on Revelka here? Yes, he can, but Kefka dodges it. Velis, not a super accurate Uni here, actually missing the Kefka. And you have to imagine with the fire units here, that is probably running that Pissarro VC with agility and luck on it. Man, oh man, this is one rough matchup for Crimson Lease. Going into double fire magic squad, I'm sure is not what he was hoping for, but GG's to both players. JB79 picks up a clean 2-0 victory for the second week in a row, starting his WDL career off with a bang. All right, guys, for the final series of this week, we've got none other than Turambar's the Fire Ferrets versus Spike's Bebop's crew. Some Season 1 veterans going up against each other. This is my guild leader of Spike versus the guild leader of Get Swifty. Doesn't get any better than this. So Resist Magic is going to come out from Edward, as Turambar is running this full strike team with the double full metal alchemist units along with Mariluk. We've seen this before. On the other side from Spike, as Alphonse goes with the Zumi stance, we've got Summer Jaden, Miranda, and Murmur, but Summer Jaden, is this a bait right out of the gate? Beachside Blastorama comes out. The limit break, does it land the slow onto Alphonse? 3811, yes it does. The 67% chance to slow is a very, very crucial thing from his limit break, but he is out of AP now. Miranda pops Courage. She's going to walk forward a little bit. What does Murmur have in the tank here? It's a fast cast onto Miranda. And Edward going to go Auto Mail's Crux. This is exactly the one buff that he needs to be an effective unit. Mariluk sitting there with 11,000 HP and Bradley TMR. This team is so scary, but the movement from Turambar's team is very, very strange here. They're taking a very weird path because they have to go around the stairs. And you have to wonder, is this going to play to Spike's favor here, as they are able to chain down Alphonse, waiting for the other strike units to close in here? This could actually work out for Spike, as Focus Fist comes out from Mariluk, getting the protect on both parties and also increasing her defense penetration. And now the entire team is hasted for Spike, as Alphonse is still slowed. Miranda's going to go next. How much damage can she do to this Alphonse before he takes another turn? The answer to that question is absolutely 0, as Alphonse walks in, goes Stone Enclosure, goes for the limit break, and oh my goodness, that is a lot of damage. Does it one-shot Summer Jaden? Yes, it does. And this looks really rough for Spike all of a sudden. That might be a tank in Alphonse, but he deals damage like a DPS. And my goodness, Mariluk and Edward have not even joined this fight, and this slowed Alphonse is still hard carrying, as Dispelling Thrust just does a little bit of damage. Stone Gut Enervator, 4951, does a very sizable chunk, but Edward with Magic Barrier still not entering this fight. My goodness. And the positioning from Turambar here, as Alphonse is soaking hits on hits on hits, just refreshing buffs for like the 3rd and 4th time here. Murmur, does she go for another Stone Gut, or does she go for Fast Cast? Miranda, can you clean up a kill here? Here's the Water Good Dispeller. Not enough to kill Alphonse here. as crowning chakra comes out from Mariluk. If this wasn't brutal enough for Spike, now there's regen on the entire party and they are basically full health. I say that, not exactly full health, but adamantine pillar transformation. Good Lord, Edward is an insane unit. Basically one-shots Miranda, brings her down to her courage, and what can Alphonse follow up with? A kill is the answer to that question. And now the 40 cost Murmur in our format is up against it in a 1v3, trying her best to avoid a 0 for 2 loss to Turambar's team. Manages to pick up a kill against Alphonse here though. And Mariluk going to follow this up with a Terror Slash, 822 damage. Edward going to go next with 107 AP. Automail's Crux is online, but with the elemental advantage, I think we all know exactly what's going to happen here between the Edward and the Murmur. Although I say that, I think she does have pretty ridiculous strike resist. Maybe she can somehow pull something off here, but it'd have to be pretty damn impressive. Stone Gut Enervator does barely any damage at all to Edward. He's just going to heal it right back with the regen, and Full Metal Rage is going to come out. And is this a full strike resist build from Murmur? It does not look like it, as Edward is going to pick up the kill, and Turambar, similar to JB79, keeps his perfect record, +4 win-loss, 2-0 series record, looking very, very impressive this season. All right, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed those matches. Like I said, it's going to be a little different in these next few weeks. I can't cast every single game just because there are so many teams in the league and stuff like that. I'm going to try and find some different workarounds to try and, make this as entertaining and as enjoyable as possible for all of the viewers out there. But for any of those out there who still want to see some raw game footage, I will put those fights here after I break down the standings. So taking a look at the Heindler division after week 2, we've got a tie in first place. We've got Turambar of the Fire Ferrets and JB79 of the Paranoid Androids with 6 points in a +4 record. But don't forget about Unhindered and Ignite the Storm, also with 6 points. The +2 plus or minus, but still technically tied for first, as everybody still has those 6 points. Lucian Rams of Lone Shadow picking up a win this week. Very big for him, as he now is in 4th with 4 points. A 3-way tie for 5th between Colgate of Friendship, Maverick and Spaghetti Western, and Spike of Bebop's crew, all with 3 points. Error 404 yet to pick up that series win, but both series that he has been in have been very, very competitive. Has 2 points on the board here, and a 2-way tie for last between, in my opinion, 2 very strong teams who just haven't managed to pick up a win yet, of Crimson Lease of Triumph and Trailblazers, and Desire of Team Big Mouth. I was saying Desire all week long in week 1. I was notified that it's actually Desire, so I do apologize for that. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed all of the fights. Please let me know, any sort of feedback down below or anything like that. If you guys do watch the raw game footage after this, I hope you enjoy it. Otherwise, you guys have a wonderful day.
殺しにされたいようですね。
突破口を見出す。恐れる。Thanks, that's much better.
Allow me. This should help.
I swear to protect everyone.
I will crush you all.
I'd better enjoy this. Well then, how about we begin?
助かった。
変化して仕掛ける。I've got this.
目にもの見せてやりましょう。
Be gone.
I will end this.
追い知らせてやる。Go no further.
Here! I will endure. It's over! I will endure.
モッチーと本日の主役は私。
格の違いってやつ。
私の出番だね。まだいけるよ。最高。生きて生きて頑張ります。生き延びてみせる。
お前は散る定めに力を解き放
まだまだ。
みんなは僕が守ってみせる。大丈夫か？全力で行こう。見てろよ。ありがてえ。
僕だって。
切って捨てる。
力を。
ちの勝利